And here we are on December 2nd, 2015 at WINT Radio. And WIXY's going to be on the air this morning, at least some of us talking about the stations. Rob McGillicuddy, he was very camera shy, and the morning mouth Keith Anderson.
Remember, kids, don't do this.
There's no future in it, right?
No future in it. I think Mickey Mouse for this habit. Yeah.
We are in Willoughby, Ohio.
I kind of limit myself.
Very early in the morning.
Cigarettes.
We just tentatively booked the one cruise. It was 90% off. Originally $9,000, went down to $927. Then I saw that was for ocean view. Then I saw the price drop for inside cabin to $622. So it was
what'd you
over
take?
90%.
Did you take the inside
I
cabin?
took the inside cabin because 9 times out of 10 you never spend much time in it anyway, except to sleep. Right?
That's exactly what the curtains covering the window anyway. So what's the matter? It's just other than yeah. But even then, it's like okay, it's more $300 per person now.
Joe, the coupon guy. Joe, where are you going to be teaching your method of saving cash?
We're going to have the North Olmsted Library teaching travel savings. Had a real good turnout yesterday at the Farmhouse Library, and a lot of people learned a lot of new ways to save. And coming up in January, I have a bunch of travel classes in the area. One locally, Sugar Falls on January 13th, and then my coupon class at the Kirtland Library on January 20th.
Check out the website, joethecouponguy.com, for all the steals and deals. Joe Dowgers. Thanks, Joe.
You betcha.
All right, it is 7:37 in the morning, and this segment of the Wake Up Show is brought to you by the Original Mattress Factory. You need to sleep on an original mattress because you will enjoy that 1/3 of your life that you do spend crashed in bed. And one reason why is because the Original Mattress Factory makes quality products that are built right, and they build them to last. It's the Wake Up Show. Wake up out there in Parma. Wake up Strongsville. Wake up Willoughby Hills. I'm Steve Newman, 7:36 in the morning. Temperature still hanging right around 40. We can climb to maybe 50 today. Well, you remember the good old days of AM radio? Especially here in Cleveland, Ohio. We were fortunate to have some great radio stations. KYW was one of the early ones. But the big one that burst on the AM scene 50 years ago, this month, was WIXY1260. Yeah, WIXY1260. Larry the Duker Morrow. We had Luke King Kirby. We had
Jack Armstrong.
Big Jack, your leader. Yes, Big Jack Armstrong. Chuck Knapp, Chuck Dunaway, Mike Ranieri. Well, WIXY1260 is back. They have a new cast of supermen. Gary Michaels, Ray King, Keith Anderson, and Rob McSwagger are all joining me in the studio here at WI. We're going to talk about the 50th anniversary party that's coming up on the 12th of December about WIXY1260. Guys, how did WIXY1260 come back from the dead?
Well, one day, it was a rainy, miserable weekend, and I just decided, let's give this a shot. At the time, I didn't think it was going to last a couple of weeks.
This is Gary Michaels we're
actually,
talking
it's Gary
about.
Schmitz. We get the wrong name on it.
Yeah. I have a lot of Garys in my phone. They're all WIXY
Okay,
Garys.
that's right.
And here we are 4.5 years later, and just having a lot of fun doing it.
So, for not to confuse people, you don't go to 1260 on the AM dial like you used to. And hear WIXY1260.
No,
WIXY1260 is an online radio station.
In fact, if I can interject there real fast, it's now owned by the Cleveland Diocese. So it's Cleveland Catholic Radio.
Right,
1260.
right, yes.
But it's better than Mickey Mouse, who owned it before.
So, what was the genesis? I mean, why did you do this?
I think it's because they didn't want to invest in like old cars, like usual guys do at this point in life. They're looking for condos in sunny places or nice hot rod cars, and they decided to get into radio.
Yeah, I just remembered listening to it as a kid, and had a few of the jingles that I recorded years ago, and then I met Ray, and he had tons of them, and now the stuff just comes out of the woodwork. It's amazing.
That's for sure. In the beginning, it's funny, Gary is a computer guy. I'm a jingle collector and a music collector, and we just kind of meshed. We just kind of played off each other. Gary wired up the station. I provided the music, the jingles, the old air checks, and it just kind of all came together.
So tell us a little bit about the format. What do you play? Is it like listening to WIXY1260, going back?
We hope so.
Indeed so. It's the kind of music that you can't forget. I mean, this stuff has incredible longevity to it. So, yeah, we are playing all the music, and perhaps even more so, And if again, you guys know radio, there's always a very tight playlist. They do lots of market research, and in a lot of cases, it's the same music over and over and over again. Now, our database, which we have affectionately named the WIXY126040.
You named it.
Well, thank you very much.
The WIXY-tronic.
Right. WIXY126040.
I like that.
You know, because we are in the digital age now.
The WINT-tronic. Can we do that?
You will play music.
A lot of us can remember, you know, back when it was stacks of wax, and we're talking vinyl, you know.
Right.
And now, all in this digital age, I mean, you can keep it all in just a desktop with all the kind of records that we're playing. And again, that is the beauty of it, is that we are playing songs that you don't hear that much on oldies radio anymore.
And that's what we pride ourselves on, the
The
depth of
obscure
our
stuff,
playlist.
and even more so, the regional connection, the Cleveland, Ohio connection. They
So
call it.
you're playing things like "Stopped" by Circus.
Exactly. The
Andrea
choir.
Carroll,
Yeah.
Andrea Quick Carroll, the choir, It's Cold Outside.
Right.
And, you know, there's just so many tunes.
Joey
that-
and the Continentals.
Yeah, that you don't hear anywhere on any other oldie stations.
And one of the things I like, it just happened this last Saturday night during my shift. We got a request for a song, and it actually was not in our system, which very rarely happens. Do I type in a song and not find something? But we get an hour by the time we get the request into when we put it on the air, and it was a couple of text messages and a quick frantic phone call to Ray King here, who owns everything, and boom, he pulled an Archie's tune out of his back pocket, and we got it on the air.
So what's the demo? Who listens to online radio today and WIXY1260Online.com?
Well, that's a tough one. We have a real hard time because a lot of the demographic people that we are shooting for are not exactly computer savvy or smartphone savvy, but you can listen on your smartphone, listen on your computer, iPad, anything. Apple TV now.
Roku.
Yeah, just
Internet
about
radio.
anything.
Yeah.
But education of people is really what's really hard. And we try when we go to live events to have our staff work with people, and if they have a smartphone, program it for them, and so on and so forth. But it's definitely an interesting crowd. We've got people on our staff from Gretchen's
24.
22. She's 22.
Yeah, 22.
Up to me, I'm the old guy. I'm 68, but I listened to WIXY back in the day, and I ran tapes of WIXY, which we're playing as little mini air checks that we call sound bites.
Right.
So we actually interject a little bit of the original WIXY during our programming during the day.
And this really does speak to the longevity of this music. I mean, can you really imagine now, let's go back to the 1960s. Were we singing songs from the 1910s, 50 years ago?
Good point.
Yeah, there you go.
I
You know,
don't think so.
So the point being, and I run across folks too, because I'm a golden oldie now myself. I just turned 60 a couple months ago. And I'm running into 20-year-olds who go, man, this is cool stuff. And that they were introduced to it by their parents.
Right.
And we see the same thing at the broadcasting school. WIXY1260 Online has 3 current instructors at the Ohio Media School, formerly the School for Broadcasting. And we see that a lot with our students. When they see us walk in our WIXY1260 shirts, they want to know what it is, because they go to the dial and they get the Catholic channel, and they don't hear what they're expecting. But it really does open an awful lot of eyes. And as Gary was alluding, the live appearances that we do, and we're getting a bunch of them. I love doing the live events because
we all do.
We see people in the WIXY generation coming up that are absolutely amazed that we're back, but we also see a heck of a lot of kids. I mean, we were at the IX Center for the piston-powered Autorama back in March, and we're going back again this March, and we had probably 15 little kids dancing in front of the booth for a good 15, 20 minutes. And then you have the older guys. We had, I remember one gentleman at that particular show was a Vietnam vet, and he was sitting listening to me do the intro. I think it was Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Woodstock. And I did the whole pitch about the album from 1971 and the other names of the other artists that played on the album. And this guy walks over to me behind the booth after the song starts, and he thanks me not only for being part of bringing WIXY back, but also giving the back information on the artists and things like that. And he grew up saying, "Well, I grew up with their bass player, blah 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 blah." He lived down the street, and he'd come in and tell us stories about the recording sessions and all that. And that's what we bring back to it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We bring a life to it that deserve to come back.
Well, it's been 50 years. Tell us about this event that's coming up. Where's it going to be held, and how can people take a trip down memory lane, or maybe create some new memories?
Well, one of our favorite haunts and hangouts is Tommy's All Fired Up in Rocky River, Ohio, 1325 Linda Street. And we will be there December 12th, and from 8 till midnight, I believe. And we're trying to put out the word, tell folks to join us for that. And this is, again, the important part of the interaction with the audience. again, is to tell us your stories. Why was this radio station so important to you? What are your recollections, your memories, your interactions with the jocks? Did you call that request
I used
line?
to do that.
Okay, there you go.
That's kind of like how I got into radio. I used to call radio stations
listener,
when I was a kid.
Please
you know?
don't turn down your radio, listener.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. That still applies, by the way.
Okay.
So, on this particular night, Saturday, December 12th, at Tommy's All Fired Up on Linda Drive in Rocky River, 8 o'clock till midnight, what can people expect? Are there going to be any of the original Supermen there?
We wish.
Yeah. Unfortunately, none of them were able to make it. They all had other plans, or they don't live near this area. I mean, the closest person really is Larry Morrow.
Right.
And then Jim LaBarbera is down in Cincinnati.
Right.
But they still, you know.
So what happened to some of the old WIXY1260 Supermen? Do you know where they're at? How many are still with us?
We actually have knowledge of where a lot of them are. A lot of them are on Facebook, believe it or not. Chuck Dunaway,
Chuck Dunaway,
Knapp,
yeah. Chuck
Terry
Knapp,
Stevens,
yep.
Steve Hunter is on Facebook. It's just amazing. Mike Ranieri passed away at the age of 60 many years ago. His wife was on Facebook almost daily. The Wild Child is a story about him being up in Alaska. Right, Dick Kemp, living above a bar. His son apparently says he's alive and well, but no one's seen him for decades.
There was a story about the Wild Child actually coming in one day and doing his show naked.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too drafty in here. You don't have to worry about me doing
Very,
it.
exactly.
Well, good thing that today,
Yeah.
he's not doing it, because today everybody's streaming video along with the audio.
So do we. We actually have a live webcam
That's what I'm
during
saying.
our
So it's a
shows.
good thing
right.
he did that
We kind of
then.
have to watch it. Yeah. Yeah.
Big Jack Armstrong,
Big Jack
unfortunately, passed
Armstrong,
away about 7 years ago, 2008.
Yeah.
Was he
Yeah.
the most popular on WIXY1260?
You want to say
original?
so because,
Probably.
interestingly enough, he was hired at the age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1966, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was only at WIXY for less than a year.
Right.
You know,
Then he went
actually,
to
one of the radio
KYC.
stations stole him away.
Yeah, he made
and
an impact.
Got around his non-compete clause, you know, and went to KYC.
Right.
And had to, I think he changed his name slightly.
Yeah,
to
it was
keep
Big
that
Jack.
Big Jack over there. You're
Right.
a leader.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, he was really one of the major talents in the
Yeah, he was.
industry.
And Larry Marr was there for like 7 or 8 years, and that was a stepping stone to a huge career that he's still pursuing in Cleveland radio. Yeah, he has his own company right now.
Yeah, he does a lot of
Yeah.
voiceover work.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we're going to be giving away some WIXY1260Online.com merchandise. Rob, what are we going to be giving? Why don't we do one right now?
Okay, well, if you checked our Facebook page out last night or this morning, we've got a couple of WIXY t-shirts that we're going to give away. You can tell us what size and what color. If you're watching on the Ustream cam, you can see Keith and Ray wearing the black version of the shirt, and then I'm wearing the canary yellow, but I'm hiding under our camera, so you can't see it. But so you can tell us, we'll pick a caller number or something like that?
Caller number 1. Let's
There
just
you
take
go.
the next
Okay,
caller.
there we go.
First caller, you're going to win your choice of color and size of WIXY1260Online.com t-shirt.
That's right, and stay tuned, because after this break, we've got bumper stickers and mouse pads to give away as well.
All right, WIXY1260Online.com. Check it out. It'll take you down memory lane, or if you don't remember the original 1260 when it was on AM, you might want to check it out. Got some great music that will never be made again.
Never die.
Unfortunately, it will never
Yeah,
die, but it
right.
will never be made. It was real music, too.
And the younger people are appreciating that fact.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Love
Thanks, guys. The Supermen from WIXY1260Online.com. Gary Michaels, Ray King, Keith Anderson, and the one and only new leader is Rob McSwagger.
Right. Thank you for having us.
Hey, our pleasure. All right, let's continue our conversation with the new Supermen from WIXY1260, now known as WIXY1260Online.com. We have Gary Schmitz, Ray King, Keith Anderson, and Rob McSwagger. Online radio, as far as music is concerned, there's not really much competition as such, although another name in Cleveland radio has started a similar but more, I guess, album-oriented rock format, AOR, and that's Oh Wow Radio with John Gorman, formerly of WMMS. Is this a trend with, you guys started it, and is this something that is going to become more popular and prevalent?
We believe that internet radio is going to pretty much replace terrestrial radio in the X number of years. We don't know, how long, but a lot of the newer cars now have internet radios in them.
Right.
And so we think that's definitely the trend, yes.
Now, when it comes to making money, is it profitable.
Not yet.
Not for us.
We're the labor of love.
No,
Welcome to the radio, whether it's terrestrial or online, right?
Exactly.
It's tough to make a buck.
Yeah, and we've got like 20 people on the staff, and they're all volunteers. None of us get paid for this.
Right.
Well, hey, but we got these stylish T-shirts, Gary.
Well,
Yeah, come on. And bumper stickers.
That's right.
And mouse pads.
Yes, right.
yes.
The bumper stickers will actually get us pulled over, not by law enforcement, but I've had on 3 different occasions. I've had people. Well, I got a new car. I don't have a WIXY sticker on it yet, Gary. I'm working on it. It's a pretty new car. I haven't had one of those. But anyway, I've had people pull me over in the past because they've seen the WIXY1260 bumper sticker on my car, and they want to know where I got the bumper sticker. And then I explained to them that no, you can actually listen to us and everything. You know, real music and stereo.
Sure.
So I mean, a lot of what I think we get is word of mouth. And it's a slow process, but at the same time, I mean, I know that our base of listeners are extremely loyal and are very good about being vocal about our existence.
All I got to say is thank God for Facebook and social media.
Oh, absolutely.
We promote the heck out of the station on social media all the time.
Well, it's a necessary thing in
it is.
radio.
It really
today.
is.
A lot
Right.
of terrestrial stations don't even get just how important the social media aspect
Right.
of the game is. And I mean, you're just sunk these days if you don't have a strong online presence.
True.
And that's something that we do have. Real quick, I want to interject because I want a chance to say something about these fine gentlemen. You know, as they mentioned in the last segment, 4 years ago, these 2 gentlemen, Ray and Gary, started this from scratch. We have a picture on our Facebook page right now of the 2 of them sitting behind a desk, and you can see it's a CD player and a computer, and that's pretty much it.
And one microphone, right?
Right, and now if you walk into our studios now, it looks like the deck to the Starship Enterprise.
By the way, where are the studios?
In Lakewood. And, you know, we've got all high-end stuff. They are constantly going in and making sure that the technology is top-notch, top of the line, so that we have an unbelievable sound. And I can't thank these 2 gentlemen enough. You know, being a history geek and a new person to Cleveland, I love the fact that they're trying to keep a part of our history intact, and not only keeping it intact and keeping the memory fresh, but they're bringing it back, and they're bringing it back strong.
Well, check it out, the WIXY1260Online.com website. Streaming audio, classic hits from Cleveland's classic days of rock and roll radio, and we were at the forefront, and we just might be again. WIXY1260Online.com, Gary Schmitz, Ray King, Keith Anderson, and Rob McSwagger. 50-year party coming up on the 12th of December. Check it out at Tony's All Fired Up on Linda Street in Rocky River, December 12th, Saturday night, 8 p.m. to midnight. WIXY1260 is back. Thanks, guys.
Lives again.
It is 7:58 in the morning. This segment of the Wake Up Show brought to you by Lake Tran. Hey, Lake Tran has extended holiday hours now. Visit LakeTran.com for the full holiday schedule.